Hi guys, Carrie Scroggins from down in the Houston area. I promised you along the way of this journey to take care of my senior service dog. I was going to document the experience in an attempt to help others who are caring for a senior animal. If you're an animal lover, you know how important it is. There's a lot of people out there that think that dogs are just dogs, and this message is probably not for those people, but it is for those people who accept dogs and any pet as part of the family. There's a big difference between that statement, a pet and a family member. My service dog I have had since he was a tiny puppy. He has been with me 11 and a half years. He has saved my life twice. And he is like my sons. Now, there people are going to say that's ridiculous. And that's okay, that's your opinion. And I respect your opinion. But you got to respect my opinion. And my service dog is a huge part of my life. He is 11 and a half. And at this stage, I have to take the necessary steps to make sure as he transitions in his senior years until that ultimate day that he passes the Rainbow Bridge, that his life is comfortable and he is not in pain and that he is happy and content, because then that makes my stress levels much less. Okay, so this is a selfish thing that I'm doing, but it is for him and his comfort and his contentment in the later stages of his life. He deserves it. He absolutely deserves it. So in this process, I have done a lot of research about at-home care for Duke, that's his name, and mobile doctors and end-of-life compassionate palliative care for animals. And I kept going back to one place called Blue Pearl. And Duke has actually had a major knee repair done at the Houston location in spring at Blue Pearl. So I know this facility very well. They are a first-class trauma center for animals. And I have been very impressed from the moment I walked in the doors to today in this process. So in late January, February, I sent out just a message to ask about what their programs are, if they could share with me what programs they had and how it worked. And I did it for 3 or 4 other companies as well to be prepared. I am an organizational freak. I have to be organized. It's how I keep my life together. And I knew, based upon my own physical challenges that I've had this year and my husband's physical challenge that he's had for about 3 years, including a massive surgery in last December, I knew I had to be organized and prepared for the point where Duke needed some additional help and some day-to-day sort of more hands-on help as he progresses towards that ultimate passing, which I hope is a long time from now. But I'm also a realist and I have to be prepared. So I made this initial contact and I got lots of information back, and then just as the year kind of progressed and I started to see some changes with Duke, speaking with his current veterinarian who I adore, I love her very, very much, the decision was made to sort of start the process of enrolling Duke in the palliative care program through Blue Pearl. So the first part of that is to do a life assessment evaluation, which is done with a clinically trained veterinarian that can assess through a Zoom call sort of the current situation with your animal. That's the first step. And we had that interview about 2 weeks ago. And kind of all agreed where we thought Duke was at this point. Duke is doing phenomenally. The only major problems in Duke's life right now is his mobility. He is a big black chocolate, a big black lab. And he's had 2 major ACL repairs on both back legs. And so he has severe arthritis. We knew this was going to happen. And so mobility for Duke is going to be this sort of deciding ailment in his life. He's been on pain medication and pain management for quite some time. Well, really since his surgeries. And so I needed to get the process started so Duke can stay at home, so he doesn't have to get in the car where he's extremely stressed. He hates the car. He hates being away from me. He has terrible separation anxiety. So all of these things lead to a decision that the best and the most productive and healthy environment for Duke is to remain at home and to have in-home care. And there are services available. Blue Pearl, for us, was the only available service that would come where we live. And they offered the most as well, the most services. So we went through the process. We had our initial evaluation, and we all agreed sort of where Duke is. So that first and most important assessment was done, and it was done through an interview with Bill and I by this clinically trained veterinarian. And then the process then is up to me. Do I want to start Duke now? Do we want to pay for the in-home physical that he has to have in order to enroll in the actual care and access to the care? And I made the decision that yes, it is time, for two reasons. I don't want to be behind Duke's wellness, and I want to be prepared when I leave for Australia in September and know that my husband and my dog have the services that they need here in our home. In the event that there's a problem, all Bill has to do is pick up the phone and say, I need somebody, and then they will get out here and be with both of them as quickly as they can. I needed that. I need that safety net, that security, knowing that when I am across the world in Australia, that my husband and my dog have the access to the care that they're going to need. And so I made the decision to go ahead and get him enrolled in the palliative care through Blue Pearl. So the next step in that process is to do an in-depth interview with a clinically trained nurse to go over medications and our home and his daily life, what his activities are, what he eats, his current prescriptions, anything outstanding that we need to address that the veterinarian will need to look at specifically when she comes to do her hands-on assessment of Duke. So we have a first interview, then we have a second interview with a clinically trained emergency nurse to talk about his actual physical condition and the medicines that he takes, the foods that he eats, the exercises that he does, the home environment that he lives in. That's the second big step. And then the third big step in the enrollment process is for a veterinarian to come out and actually do a physical assessment for Duke. And that is tomorrow. So we've done the first two really big steps. The next step is the physical exam for Duke. And she will at that time address things that she sees that we need to do, or if we need to change some medications. Now, all in this process, I am working directly with my current veterinarian, and she absolutely 100% agrees that this is the right thing to do to lessen Duke's stress levels by putting him in the car, to lessen his separation anxiety by putting him in the car and me not being with him. All of it is designed to keep Duke as calm as possible so he can be as happy and as comfortable as possible, because he's earned it. 11 and a half years of unconditional love. Us humans, a lot of us don't deserve our pets. And I know the value of this dog and what he has done for me. He saved my life twice. He's helped me get over one of the worst physical years in my life. Years, plural. And so whatever we need to do to repay that is what we're going to do. So now we're at the third step, and the third step is tomorrow. A doctor, a trained veterinarian will be out tomorrow. She'll do his physical assessment and then make any recommendations, draw blood, arrange his current injections, and then go over the very detailed and more specific care that is going to be available to Duke and us for Duke moving forward. Now, we do pay an initial fee. Part of that can be submitted to your insurance company if you have insurance. And then we pay a monthly fee to have access to emergency care and in-home care for Duke. And it's well worth it. It's not cheap, but I don't care. It is well worth it. It is worth my peace of mind. It is worth knowing that if Bill has an emergency with Duke, that Bill can get the care that he needs for our dog while I am gone. So it's priceless. It doesn't matter what the cost is. Now, some people aren't going to agree with me on that, and that's okay. That's your opinion. But this is my opinion, and this is where we, as a couple and as the owners of this beautiful dog, feel is the right way to go. So that's the third step. Once that third step is done, I'll come back in and I'll talk about what went on and how that went, and then what the additional detailed description of the services that are going to be provided for us are, so you can too, if you have a senior dog or any pet that needs some extra care, that you need extra care for them, this might be a wonderful opportunity for you as well. Blue Pearl is the name of the company. There are, if you live in the greater Houston area, there are additional companies that will come to your house as mobile vets. For my particular case where we live, this is the only company that will come to our location. And then the one thing that they will do for us, which is a great sense of relief for both Bill and I, is we know if nature does not take its course and we have to make that ultimate decision, that can be done here in our home, where he's comfortable, where he knows he's loved, where he is safe and secure. And then they will, from that point, take care of his cremation and all of that aftercare that needs to happen, so we can then get his ashes home and do what we are going to do with them. So it is a service that sort of takes you through the full run of a senior animal, and they also are wonderfully great about giving you so many sources for things. When you lose an animal this important, you're going to go through grief, and we know that. And so we may need some additional grief counseling, and so they also will help us with that. Because it's not only taking care of Duke, but it's taking care of us, so we can take care of Duke to the best of our ability. And that's what I love so much about Blue Pearl and the services that they provide. They take into consideration you as the owner of your pet. And that's a rare thing. And if you are in the same situation we are, caring for a senior animal, and you need some additional help, please feel free to reach out to me after any of these videos. I'm happy to share my experience with you one-on-one and refer to you the people that I am dealing with at Blue Pearl. They really are a world-class organization, and my entire experience has been wonderful with them for Duke's surgery and a couple of emergency situations that we had with him. And that's priceless when you're an animal lover and a dog lover, and your pets are your family. It's important, just like going to a doctor, to have faith in your veterinarian and the veterinarian services that are available to you. So I will pop back in again once we do our third step here, our evaluation tomorrow and Duke's actual physical, and I will share with you the information that I find from step number 3. Hope this is helping you. Please don't ever hesitate to reach out to me. I'm happy to share my direct experience with you if you would like to contact me. This is Carrie from in the Houston area. God bless you. God bless your pets. Take care of them. Please never, never leave your pets outside in extreme conditions because, like humans, they can perish as well. God bless, and we'll see you in the next video.